Hi everyone, this is Richard, CEO of altFINS. Last week, crypto markets pulled back about 10%, and naturally, the question on everyone's mind is if and when to buy this dip. So in this video, I will cover two powerful strategies with two market scans to help us find which coins to consider buying and when. Again, this is not financial advice. This video is for informational purposes only, and do your own research. So let's go ahead and check out last week's price action first. I do consider this market structure to continue to be bullish, meaning we are in an uptrend. But last week, let's take a look at the performance tab here. Last week, Bitcoin was down about 9%, Ethereum was down about 10.5%. Binance coin was about flat, Ripple was down about 10%, Cardano about 14%, and so on and so forth. So most altcoins appear to be down high single digits or low double digits or low teens, 10 to 15%. Of course, year to date we are well in the plus. Even over the last month we are in the plus. So I do think, and also when I look at the trends overall, Bitcoin is still in an uptrend on a medium and the long-term basis. So is Ethereum, and so are many of the altcoins here in the top 100 or 200 list. We can check that out real quick. Actually, let's take a look at all the instruments. First of all, coin type, just regular coin, not a stable coin. Let's say we need a market cap of 100 million at least, and that gets us down to about 200 assets on the list. Okay, and now let's just get out of those 200 only those that are up on the medium term basis, so that's 130, and also that are up on the long term basis. So about 112 assets or cryptocurrencies out of the top 200 by market cap are still in an uptrend on a medium and a long-term basis. So that's over 50%. So I do still think that the market structure is still bullish and is still in an uptrend. And in an uptrend, what we do is we try to buy dips. That's my personal opinion, my way of that's my approach to trading in the current market environment. So then the question becomes, where do I buy this? Where do I get involved? Which coins to consider buying, and again, when? So let's look at two strategies that we actually have pre-built for the users of this platform. You can find them on Signal Summary, where we have, first of all, I have my own custom built filters on top, but then we have a pre-built set of filters that everyone has access to. And the two that I think are relevant for the current market situation is coins that are oversold but are still in an uptrend. So it's these right here. Now, depending on which time interval we're talking about, I'm talking about the daily time interval. So that looks like about 25 assets are in an uptrend but are oversold based on the relative strength index, RSI. Let's take a look. When I click on the number 25 here, that takes me to the crypto screener with the market scan filters already pre-applied. And this filter basically states it returns all the results for or assets that are in an uptrend on a medium and a long-term basis, and simultaneously have an RSI below 40. Now, normally RSI is oversold when we get to 30 or less. Let's take a look at this one right here, SHIB. Let's go ahead and apply default analytics here. And let's take a look at the RSI specifically. So RSI is typically within a 0 and 100 range, but the critical levels are 30 and 70. When the RSI dips below 30, it's considered oversold. When it spikes above 70, it's considered overbought, meaning it's risen a little too far too fast, and there's likely to be some profit-taking selling. Whereas on the downside, vice versa, when the price dips below 30, it's declined too low too fast, and there's likely to be some dip buying. Now, our filter uses, instead of 30, uses a 40 level, and the reason for that is that when an asset is in an uptrend, even an RSI of 40 or less already is considered oversold. Now we have these results. Let's examine and basically pick which ones of these are interesting to us. So the way to do that is really you pay attention to, at this point, when with this list, we pay attention to the support and resistance levels. In this case, really the support levels are interesting or more relevant to us, and it's basically what we're looking for are coins that are oversold and in an uptrend and are near their support level. So SHIB support levels around quadruple 0 and 10, right? And it looks like we're already kind of slightly bouncing off of that. So that's an interesting situation. This one I'm already involved in. Stellar, this one I'd have to look actually. So one way to look at actually the support and resistance levels is in some of the larger cap altcoins, we have our own what we call curated charts or technical analyses, where we actually highlight the support zone. So in this case for Stellar XLM, the support zone is around 10 cents. And also there's a support zone designated by the 200-day moving average, also can serve as a support zone. So we're kind of in the support area right now. So that looks kind of interesting, although it appears to have actually broken below that support zone. So that's potentially some concerning. So let's take a look at the next one, EOS. All right, so it's trading at just above $1, and where's the nearest support zone is right here, $1. So it's really near the support zone. In fact, it's also near the 200-day moving average. So I really like this situation, because when the 200-day moving average and the support zone line up, then that becomes a bit more robust support zone, if you will. I trust it more. I think that there is more likely to be some buying the dip from other traders or in the market overall. So that one I would be buying. The next one is AVE. AVE, again, let's take a look at the live chart here. 6 months or so. I think that's clear from this chart that about $70 is where it bounced off of last time on the pullback, and so that is likely to be a good support zone, and it's also near the 200-day moving average. You can see that in this chart. 200-day moving average is the red line here. And you can also see it in our technical analysis chart, which is not always available, but for AVE it is. And this looks really interesting because again, price is around that $70 support, and it's not a specific number always. It's a zone. I keep saying it's a zone because it's a plus or minus a few points, right? Oftentimes, like right here, the price can dip slightly below that, but it really respected that support zone and it bounced off of that. So we can't be extremely strict with the support zone as a specific price, but rather a range. In this case with AVE, the support zone lines up with the 200-day moving average. Again, another support indicator or level. And then it's also aligning up with this support trend line right here overall, right? When I connect some of the dips, the lows, the swing lows, we're at that level. So that really lines up really nicely here. So that gives me additional level of conviction that this support zone could hold and we could swing back up to 80 or so. That would be about, call it a 10% gain. So let's look at the next one, CFX, Conflux Network. This one we don't have a curated chart for, so let's just look at the live chart. Wow, this one has been a huge gainer. I think it's related to the Ethereum liquid staking, and that one, yeah, there's less history to really lean on. There's been one pullback to the 30-cent level that held up. The 30-cent level arguably was a resistance in the past, but this one I don't think has enough, for me, enough supporting points or history to really lean on at this point. Qcoin, this one, as you can see here, has consistently bounced off of the $8 level, which is where we are now, just above $8. It also lines up the 200-day moving average, so I think this is also very interesting. I would be a buyer here at this level, betting that this level will hold again and we'll get a nice bounce up to $9, which would be about 10 to 12% potential gain. So that's another one. So Aave, Qcoin, and let's see, Frax. Frax share is also Ethereum liquid staking play protocol. And here, let's see, after monster gains, we've consolidated here. This we're at just below $8. We're close to that 200-day moving average, which is a good support area. It's respected that area in the past, as you can see. The 200-day moving average worked well as a support in March and again sometime later in March. So I would actually be interested in buying it here. Call it at about $7.50 or so. So that's the process with this, starting with the market scan, oversold at an uptrend, and then looking for support areas. Now, the other market scan that I like to use when the market pulls back like it did last week is uptrend and fresh momentum inflection. Right here, it's this one. So again, I'm using the 1 day or daily time interval. So in this case, this market scan is indicating that about 17 coins or assets satisfy these criteria for the scan. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the results. Now, the difference between the previous market scan and this one is that this one's using the MACD histogram. So in this case, we're likely to get assets that have already begun to inflect. The prices are already actually starting to rise, have bounced in the last day or two. So let's take a look at charts to confirm that. Here again, I'm going to add our default analytics, which includes the 100-day, 50-day moving average, 200-day moving average, the RSI and MACD. I think those are the core basics that we need in our charts. And so what this filter or custom filter does is that it looks for assets that are in an uptrend on a medium term basis and have had 2 days of positive movement in MACD histogram improvements. So we can see that, and not quite in the Binance coin, because these blue bars are hard to see. But this one, for example, Ripple, we can see the last 2 days, these blue bars stayed relatively flat or even slightly improved. And we can see that the prices also has slightly bounced up. Tron, also we've seen that the prices bounced up already a couple of days. So it looks like it's already found support here and is beginning to inflect bullish again. XDC network looks interesting as well. After this brief pullback, still in an uptrend, and we've seen a couple of days where MACD histogram has already improved over the prior trend. So that's the approach here, and so hopefully this is helpful for me. Some of these situations with the oversold and uptrend were more interesting. Looks like I'm already involved in SHIB, like I mentioned. I will be buying Aave and Qcoin as well. And on this list of coins in an uptrend with a bullish inflection in momentum or MACD histogram, the winner here. The other thing that you may want to also again check is some of the curated charts, like I said, because Binance Coin, the other thing you got to keep in mind is where is not only the support, but where is the resistance. Are we too close to resistance, or is there any sort of other pattern evolving? So in our curated chart here, we actually note that Binance Coin is trading in the rising wedge, so we're actually waiting for a breakout. So this is not buying a dip opportunity, but really waiting for a breakout. For Ripple, under the curated chart section, we are discussing sort of the past pattern bullish flag. There was a bullish breakout, and now it's kind of revisiting the support zone at 45 cents. So this actually is kind of interesting because it's right very near that support zone. It is beginning to inflect in terms of the momentum. So this could actually be an interesting opportunity, Ripple, from this list. I do hope that this video has helped you with your trading strategy, and more importantly, how to use altFINS platform to find some potential trading ideas, as well as learn some trading techniques and basic concepts. If you have any questions or feedback, please email us at invest@altfins.com. Good luck trading.